happened again. And I'm having one of those moments where I'm like, should I have known that he was gonna do that? Like, should I have known that he was gonna do that? Should I have assumed that because he's a man that he was going to do that?
Alright. Do what exactly, madam? Who apparently has vampire fangs? What exactly do you think he was going to do?
Because if I start assuming that every single man is going to sexually assault or harass me, that makes me a bad person. And I'm generalizing. And I'm making assumptions about people. And I'm prejudiced. I was really close friends with this guy when I was like in middle school, into high school. And you know when you're like younger, you think, oh, well, we get along. Should we date? And that we dated for like 2 weeks. But we remained like really close friends for a while. And then I switched schools, so we didn't like see each other really after that. But we've been in touch for the last like 7 years and have been trying to make plans literally for 7 years. Obviously not in like a very serious way, but like, okay. And now he has had a girlfriend for the last 7 years. I told him, and thank God I'm moving. Jesus, thank God I'm actually moving.
So, you've been keeping in touch to try to do something with him for the last 7 years, even though you already knew for a fact he was already seeing somebody. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you openly just confessed, madam, that you wanted to be his mistress. And yeah, there are women who are okay with their boyfriends and their men cheating as long as they don't bring home diseases or babies. They're called swingers. That's what they are. Yeah, and you made it perfectly clear during those 7 years you were talking to madam that you were 100% okay with being his concubine. You were. So, yeah, after 7 years of talking, madam, it's a little bit too late for your complaint against him to have any real credibility. It really is.
I texted him and I was like, hey, just so you know, I'm moving soon, so like last chance if you're really serious about wanting to hang out one more time, like it's go time. Like we've been texting for, you know, the last like, I don't know, couple weeks or so, and like it's been all relatively like normal conversation. Like there was no exchange that would have made me think that this guy was gonna like do something. I just drove an hour to be like sexually assaulted. Oh my god. We didn't have like a real plan or anything like that, so he just got in my car. We like met up, he got in my car, and I thought like, I'm just gonna take him on some deliveries with me, might as well make some money, and like it's not like I'm going out on a date with this guy or something. So he told me he didn't want to do any deliveries, so I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do then? And so I just started driving around. I drove out on the island, like by the beach, and he was like, are you gonna take me anywhere? And now mind you, this whole time the conversation is completely normal. I drove him to this little like park thing. There's an observation deck if you go like over the bridge and through the woods, and I was like, that seems like a cool place to go. So we get there, it's hot as fuck in Florida right now, and there are so many mosquitoes, but I was like, all right, if we just get to the top of the observation deck, we'll stop being bitten, probably. We get up there, and again, no weird stuff is happening. We're just talking, and then I decide like, okay, I want to go back down into the AC, and we're walking down the steps, and he turns around when we reach like the middle landing, and he picks me up and like puts me on the ledge, and mind you, we're like 10 feet in the air, and just kisses me, like starts making out with me. I pulled away and I'm like, fuck, like I really was like, is he trying to like throw me over the ledge? Because I don't know. Yeah, like,
Madam, that's not sexual assault. You literally just admitted that you were the one, you yourself brought him to an isolated area. You're the one who isolated yourself with him, not the other way around. And you used your own car to do it. That was not sexual assault. No. Everybody should, madam, but if you're the one trying to isolate him, then guess what? You can't claim sexual assault anymore. That's not how it works.
with me, I would have fallen backwards and probably died. I don't know. Now, I know that this is a problem because should I in that moment have been like, oh, get the fuck off me, what are you doing? Like, yeah, absolutely I should have. But that's really uncomfortable and scary when you're out in the woods with some guy. We get back into my car.
You're out there in the woods with him because you brought him there, madam. You drove him there. Yeah, you're the one who isolated him in a remote place, not the other way around. Sorry, madam, but that's on you. That's not on the guy.
And he says, like, he makes a note of how my windows aren't tinted. And I'm like, what would the windows need to be tinted for? Like, and then he made some
Because it's a Florida law. Yeah, that's why.
comment about making out in front of, like, the old ladies that were parked next to us. And as we're, like, leaving, like, drive, because I'm like, oh, we gotta go back. Like, we gotta go back. I gotta get this guy out of my car. We're driving, and he just starts, like, touching me. He started trying to undo my string on my pants, and I grabbed his hand, and I was like, no, no.
Madam, this doesn't correlate with sexual assault either. It really doesn't. Because you literally invited him into your legal vehicle. You invited him into your vehicle. You're the one driving him around. You don't have to drive him anywhere. You could just say, sorry, we're leaving, you can get your own ride. You invited him into your car. Yeah, hate to raise him, man, but this is not sexual assault. You're the one leading the behavior. You are. You really are.
I don't even... It's so fucking horrible. Like, why put me in this position? Why put me in this position?
You put yourself in that position, madam. Like I said, you drove him to that remote place. You're the one driving him everywhere. You're the one who's leading all of this. You really are. None of this is sexual assault. I don't think any of it is. Because you're the one who is leading all of this stuff. You really are. You're the one giving him the okay.
Because now I feel super fucking uncomfortable, and we're in, like, a closed space, and I park next to his...
A closed space that you brought him into. Not the other way around, madam. You brought him into that closed space. You did. He didn't bring you into that closed space. You brought him into there.
To be like, okay, you know, time to leave now. I have to go to work. And he just starts kissing me more. And, like, again, I don't know. Making comments about how, like, I was the one that, like basically saying I wanted this, and, like, I was initiating it.
You pretty much did want it, and you were the one initiating the whole thing. You're the one who drove him everywhere. You're the one who brought him into a secluded space. You're the one who isolated him in all these spaces. You were the one initiating everything. You were. You openly just admitted that. Also, you want this story to be, your victim story to be believable, madam? Do yourself a favor. Ditch the vampire fangs. I have no clue why you're wearing those when it's not even Halloween. No clue.
I came here for this. I said, I think you're projecting. Like, genuinely could not be further from the truth. He made some comment about me being horny, and I was like, I'm literally, like, asexual. Like, I'm not, I promise I'm not. He even made a...
You cannot be asexual, madam. The definition of asexual is being able to reproduce without a mate. There is not a single human being on the entire planet who is asexual.
Because I was like, is this just something that you do? Like, do you just fuck around on your girlfriend like this all the time or something? Because it seems pretty natural for you. And he was like, oh no, you're my first. And I was like, Jesus Christ. That definitely does.
Girlfriend's probably okay with it. Because like I said, kings have always had concubines. They always have. Also, madam, you're the one who just admitted that you were talking to him for like 7 years, knowing perfectly well that he had a girlfriend and that you wanted to spend time with him. Yeah. So, like I said, you're the one that was initiating this whole thing. There's actual phone evidence about it. It was not on the man. It was on you.
Doesn't fucking make me feel any better. But the problem is that I'm so good. I'm so good at, like, making situations that are really uncomfortable not be uncomfortable, because I've had to do it my entire life. So I can see, like, how in that situation, you know, he might not think that I'm uncomfortable or something just because I'm like filling up the space by, like, talking, and I'm trying, like, while he was touching me, I'm like just continuing to talk. Like, I'm continuing to just have, like, a normal conversation and, like, basically ignoring it. Like, and does that...
Yeah, man, that's not how legal consent works. It really is not. If both of you are of legal age and two of you are completely sober and neither one of you technically said the word no, then guess what? By law, you gave consent. You did. And you cannot take it back after giving it. You really cannot. Even if for reasons like, hey, you feel uncomfortable afterwards. No. Legal consent is not whatever it is you say it is, madam, based on your feelings at the time, and based on the text history you've already described. You have already fully given this man your legal consent. He has the text history to prove it. He really does. After all, if that was not the case, why did you not go to the police? You know, the people who are legally qualified and trained to address these types of matters. Oh, also, who's driving the car? Like who? I am very confused about that.
Give you the vibe that I, like, want you to be doing that? But yeah, no, he made a comment about how I'm, like, a bad person by proxy for causing him to cheat on his girlfriend. I feel like I should probably... his girlfriend, I don't think, even has social media. I was gonna say, I should probably contact her and let her know that her fucking boyfriend just cheated on her by assaulting another girl.
He didn't assault you, madam. He did not. Like we said, you're the one who was constantly texting him saying, hey, you want to do something with him. You're the one who was driving. You're the one who drove him into an isolated area. You did initiate everything. You did. Just because you don't like it afterwards does not change the fact that you did, in fact, initiate everything. You did.
Way too long to get him out of my car, and, like, I feel so gross right now.
You really could have just got him out of the car any given time you wanted. You really could have. You didn't have to drive him anywhere. You could just lock the doors and drove off and leave him there. Let him get his own ride. Yeah. The story does not add up, madam. It really does not. You did initiate everything, madam. You did, and now you're just complaining about stuff for just likes and comments. You really are. Well, that's all we have time.